All right, in this video, we're going to talk about a specific type of transformation called translation. And basically what we're going to do with this is take a whole shape or point or set of points, and we're just going to slide them or shift them vertically, horizontally, or both, and keep the shape how it originally was without rotating it or reflecting it or anything like that. So we're just going to basically take the shape as it is and then maybe slide it in one direction. Notice we're not going to rotate the shape at all. We're not going to reflect the shape at all. We're just going to take the shape as it is and slide it maybe over, maybe down, maybe both, right? So that's what a translation is just keeping the shape as it is and then sliding it around the page based on the information that you're given. So a lot of times we're going to take these translations and express them in terms of rules. And an example of this could be x plus 3 and then y minus 1. So what this rule would tell us is that we're going to take the original point and add 3 to the x coordinate and subtract 1 from the y coordinate. So we could start with a real simple example of translating a point. So let's say we had a point 4, 3, and this was our original point. We could call it point A. And we plot point A on the graph, right? 4 for the x, 3 for the y. That would make point A somewhere in here. And then we could make a new point based on this rule, right? So we're going to take, let's call this new point A prime. That is the point A after we've done the translation. So we're going to add 3 to the x coordinate, which is going to give us 7, right? Because we went from 4, add 3 here, and that gives us 7 for the new x coordinate. And then we're going to subtract 1 from the y coordinate, right? So we have 3 here, subtract 1 would give us 2 for the new y coordinate. All right, so our new point here after this translation would be 7, 2. So we could plot that 7, 2, and we would end up with our new point being right there. We could call this A prime. So you can do this translation based on the rule by doing it mathematically based on the coordinates of the point you have. You can also just do it visually on the graph, right? If we have x plus 3, that means we're moving to the right 3, and then if we have y minus 1, that means we're moving down 1, so we could go over 3 and then down 1, and that would give us the same thing. So whichever method you prefer is fine. Basically, if you like working with numbers, this can also be a great way to confirm that you've moved the point properly, so you can do it like this. All right, so that's a pretty easy example with a point, but we could also do this with entire shapes, and then all we have to do is basically take every point in the shape and then translate it based on the rule. So let's take a new rule. Let's maybe say x minus 2, y plus 4 as our new rule, and then let's translate a shape. So we could create, let's say, a triangle here with certain points. We could say maybe triangle ABC here. So if we make a triangle here, obviously you could draw this a lot better with a straight edge, but if this is our triangle ABC, we could label the points here if you want to use those. So the point A would here be 3, 2, point B would then be 5, 5, and point C here would then be 7, 2. So we have 3 points in this triangle here, and if we want to translate it based on this rule, we could take all of the points and we could translate them based on the rule, or we could just take the whole shape and move it accordingly. If we have x minus 2, that means we're going to the left 2, and then if we have y plus 4, that means we're going up 4. So if we wanted to translate just visually based on the rule, we could take every point and move it to the left 2 and then up 4. All right, so if we take A, go left 2, up 4, we could take B, go left 2, up 4, and we could take C and go left 2, up 4. It kind of gets in the way of our original drawing here, right? Maybe if we connect these with blue line, right, we can see the new points here make the same triangle, right? Obviously not drawn with a straight edge, it's not going to look exactly the same, but you can tell based on the points this is going to be the same exact triangle. This is going to be congruent to the original triangle. We can maybe call this A prime, B prime, C prime. All right, so if we want to confirm that we did this right, we could try and do mathematically based on the rule and convert all of the points that we have here. So we had point A was 3, 2, and then if we translate that based on the rule, we should end up with A prime being 1, 6. All right, and we can confirm on our diagram, did we plot point A prime at 1, 6? We went 1 and then up 6, and this worked out. So you can see here that using these, using the coordinates and using the rule mathematically can be a great way to test and confirm that you translated it right if you tried to do it visually, right? So we could do the same thing with point B here, right? Point B was originally 5, 5, and then we could say point B prime will then be, based on our rule, 3, 9, and we could confirm on our diagram, right, if we go 3 and then up 9, we hit point B here. We could try the same thing with point C. Point C was originally 7, 2, and then if we translated it to C prime, based on the rule up here again, we should end up with 5, 6 as the new point. Right, so we can confirm again here, if we go over 5, up 6, we find C prime as we plotted it. So this, you can see, is a good way to confirm that you did the translation correctly. And again, if we notice, we have the same congruent shape that we started with. We didn't rotate it. A, B, and C are all still in the same relationship to each other. So when you do a translation, you're going to end up with a congruent shape to the shape that you started with. So this new prime shape is going to be the same as the shape that you started with. All right, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.